The statement said some of the illegal sites were discovered near the Imo River on 18th of June 2024 with 7 overhead tanks, which were subsequently destroyed while several suspected bunkerers fled, and in a separate operation conducted in Wilcourt in River State. Gapquet said an illegal site canoe filled with crude oil and gunboats were destroyed, adding that improved intelligence and enhanced air-to-ground were responsible for feats recorded against oil thieves. This is coming after, on April the 15th, the air component of Operation Delta Safe destroyed 7 illegal refining sites at different locations in River State, while a total of 4 boats loaded with illegally refined products heading southwards were bombed by military aircraft deployed for the operations. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency said its operatives uncovered a shrine guarded by a snake that was used for storing illicit drugs during an operation in Edo State. It added that it discovered a specially constructed large hole in a wall hidden behind wallpapers and fetish objects used for drug storage. A statement on Sunday by the NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi noted that methamphetamine, loud, Colorado, and Arizona, all strong strains of cannabis with a total weight of 8.743 kilograms, amongst others, were recovered from the shrine. Babafemi said 2 ladies, namely Sonia Chinonso Ezumezu and Risikatu Tijani, were arrested during the intelligence-led operation on Tuesday, June 18, 2024, after the big black snake guarding the shrine was demobilized. Delta State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Ekemejero Ohoriole, has advocated for a shift from written statements to video-recorded evidence in courts. He made this appeal during a courtesy visit to the Delta State Police Commissioner, CP Abaniwanda Olufemi, in Asaba, and highlighted the limitations of written statements, pointing out that they can be altered or denied, as well as complicating judicial processes. He said that the existence of the Delta State Administration of Criminal Justice Law mandating the use of technology in legal procedures, a move intended to enhance transparency and efficiency, and as part of the technological integration, the state government plans to establish an interview room that will serve to protect both the police and the citizens. Oworiole also said that the facility will ensure that interrogations are conducted in a secure and transparent environment and reduce the potential for misconduct, and stressed the importance of adhering to legal procedures and ensuring fair hearing for the accused. The Attorney General declared that the forthcoming introduction of mobile courts to expedite the trial processes for offenders, and stressed the need for legal backing to support police enforcement actions, restating that offenders should be prosecuted irrespective of how long it takes to complete the trial. And while responding, the Commissioner of Police, Olufemi, expressed gratitude for the Attorney General's visit, describing it as a positive development for law enforcement in the state. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Uyo Zonal Command, has secured the conviction and sentence of 8 internet fraudsters in the state. The commission, in a statement by its spokesperson, Dele Oyewale, said that they were convicted by Justice Rosemary Owohorie of Federal High Court, Calabar, Cross River State, and were prosecuted on 2 counts, separate charges that bordered on criminal impersonation, identity theft, and obtaining by false pretense. The judge convicted and sentenced them to 2 years jail each, and the suspects, Umar, Promise, Chimele, and Nsika, were given an option to pay a fine of 2 million naira each, while Junior, SN, and Ubong were given 1.5 million naira option of fine and Wisdom was given 1 million naira option of fine. Police command in Lagos State said it has commenced investigations into the alleged killing of a police inspector by some naval officers in the Okokomaiko area of Ojo. A spokesperson for the command, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, who confirmed this on Sunday, said that a report on the incident was received at the Okokomaiko police station around 4:30 p.m. on Saturday from some members of the public. He said some policemen who were on routine patrol along Igbo Elerin tried to impound a motorcycle riding against traffic at the Beno filling station, while two men on the motorcycle who were dressed in mufti, who claimed to be naval officers, resisted arrest and attacked the policeman. The spokesman also said that the body of the victim has been deposited at the Idiaraba mortuary for autopsy while investigation is ongoing. The Osun State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has probed the pitiable plight of the health sector under the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke. The party also described it as the worst that could ever happen to the 33-year-old state. Osun APC chairman Tajuddin Lawal, in a statement issued on Sunday, alleged that it was the height of cruelty for a democratic government to pay lip service to its health sector by refusing to engage the needed manpower. This is coming after Ademola Adeleke administration in November 2022. Though an executive order terminated the appointment of health workers recruited by his predecessor, Adeboyaga Oyetola, adding that the reason for the termination of the recruitment of the health workers, which comprise doctors, pharmacists, and community health workers, was that the appointments came after Oyetola had lost the July 2022 gubernatorial election. Lawal also explained that it was gratuitous for the government to say that the delay in the recruitment of health officers was because it was awaiting the outcome of the minimum wage, while Dr. Adekunle Akindele, the special advisor to the state governor or the state government on health matters, said that the party lacked the temerity to downplay ongoing efforts by the Governor Ademola Adeleke administration to reposition the health sector in the state for better effectiveness. The Ekiti State Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources says that proactive measures to safeguard the lives of citizens and residents and public infrastructures in the state are underway following a forecast by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. This is coming after NIMET had predicted heavy rainfall and potential flooding in Ekiti and 12 other states in its recent forecast. And in reaction, the Ekiti State Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Erelu Tosin Ajisafe, in a statement, urged residents to take the warnings seriously, noting that the state government has inevitably the state government has initiated efforts to forestall any adverse weather situations. She said that the Ekiti government has approved a work plan to clear blocked drainages and waterways in Ado Ikere, Ekiti South-West local government areas, and debilitation of lined drains, culverts, and access roads and slabs in Ado Ikere and Irepodun, Ifelodun local governments, which are considered high-risk flood zones between June to October 2024. The commissioner said that the ministry had also launched a public awareness campaign to educate residents on flood safety measures. A three-man suspected armed robbery gang has killed the national chairman, retired members of Nigerian Armed Forces, Brigadier General Harold Udokwere, retired. The retired general was killed during an attack on his house located in the Kubusa area of Federal Capital Territory on Saturday morning. The chairman of the Board of Trustees, REMNAF, Abiodun Durowaye Habat, said that the robbers came around 3 a.m. and gained access through the main gate because their security is tight, while the criminals had once come to steal his generators and air conditions last year through the fence. Also, the National Assembly Sergeant at Arms, Air Commodore S.A. Zakari, retired, confirmed his death, adding that she heard gunshots afterward. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Commissioner of Police, Bennett Igwe, has ordered the arrest of the armed robbers who killed the retired general and also directed an immediate investigation into the attack and the death of the late general. Nigerian Union of Journalists is appealing to Adamawa State Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri to sign the Media Enhancement Bill into law. This is coming after Adamawa State House of Assembly had earlier passed the bill into law in 2022 and enjoined the governor to sign the bill into law without any further delay. The union made the request in a communique issued at the end of the quarterly National Executive Committee meeting of the union held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, while the NUJ president, Chris Isiguzo, was at the NUJ Center. Chris Isiguzo, the NUJ president, Chris Isiguzo, at the NUJ Oyo State Council Secretariat in Ibadan, said that the bill, when signed into law, would help to improve the standard of living for journalists in the state, adding that the NEC deliberated on various issues such as insecurity, the Media Enhancement Bill passed by Adamawa State House of Assembly, minimum wage, and other issues. He also said that the NEC also frowned at the incessant arrest and detention of journalists by security operatives, stressing that arbitrarily arrest and detention of journalists will not help Nigeria's democracy to grow. You're watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return shortly after this. Welcome back to Atlantic Television Network's Transition News. And now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has directed that all civil servants drawing salaries from the government after relocating abroad should be made to refund the money. The president also directed that the supervisors and department heads of the corporates must also be punished for aiding and abetting the fraud under their watch. Tinubu gave the directive at the award night organized by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation to commemorate the 2024 Civil Service Week, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. The president expressed dismay over the attitude of the ghost workers, adding that the government would take appropriate measures to ensure that they were punished and the money refunded to the government's treasury. The president acknowledged the challenges in the civil service sector and reiterated his commitment to address them for optimal performance. Representatives from different parts of Nigeria and political parties known as the Concerned Federal Lawmakers for Peace and Security in the Southeast are appealing to President Bola Tinubu to invoke Section 174 of the Constitution of Nigeria as amended 1999 and Section 107, subsection 1 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 for the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, from detention to aid the restoration of peace in the Southeast. The lawmakers, who hail from different political parties and geopolitical zones across the nation, also appealed to President Tinubu to commence a presidential peace initiative to address all issues and challenges bedeviling the Southeast region of Nigeria, while the appeals were contained in a three-page letter signed by the lawmakers, dated June the 13th, 2024, and also submitted and addressed to the President Bola Tinubu. The signatories include Honorable Obi Agwocha, representing Abia, Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere, representing Imo State, Honorable Aliu Mustafa, representing Kaduna State, as well as many others, and urged the President to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, to invoke his powers of nolle prosequi under the provisions of Section 174, subsection 1 of the Constitution, and Section 107, subsection 1 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, and cause the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the detention and discontinue his trial, according to the lawmakers. They believe it is long overdue and will be instrumental in opening the door for much-needed conversations surrounding peace restoration and inclusivity, as well as addressing the issues that led to the agitations, stressing that the President extended the gesture through the Office of the Attorney General in the charge following Omoyele Sowore, wherein he was charged with treasonable felony, and Sunday Igboho. The National Association of Nigerian Students is appealing to the federal government and the academic calendar and the NANS Senate President the educational sector by preventing any strike. He also urged President Bola Tinubu to allocate sufficient resources to the educational sector to improve infrastructure, provide necessary teaching aids, and ensure timely payment of salaries and benefits to workers. Timely payment of salaries and benefits of lecturers, adding that establishing a continuous platform for dialogue between the government and university administrators and lecturers to address grievances before escalation was important to prevent academic disruption. Okunomo said that it would be disastrous for university lecturers to shut down the universities with an industrial strike and action when the country is battling economic hardships. The National Identity Management Commission identity card it said that the single multipurpose card combining multiple functions of identity, financial and social services will be made available to citizens across the country by August this year. A high-ranking member of the implementation team said the Commission had been working tirelessly to meet its goals, and the plan remains on track and would be launched in the upcoming months. While the Commission has begun testing and deployment stage. This is coming on Friday, April the 5th, 2024. The National Identity Management Commission declared that it had launched a new card layered with payment capabilities and social services, because in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System. Adding that the identity solution was equipped with payment capability for all types of social and financial services. According to a statement issued, the initiative represents a collaborative effort to offer increased options for domestic consumers while fostering the delivery of services in a more innovative, cost-effective and competitive manner, stressing that the identity cards will include a bank-enabled national ID card, a social identity card, a national identity card, and an optional ECOWAS national biometric identity card. The Minister of Interior, Olubimi Tunji Ojo, says that the federal government is planning to relocate 29 correctional centers from the urban areas. Tunji Ojo said that the relocation became imperative to curtail the security risk the prisons pose to the society because of their closeness to urban centers, and have listed some of the prisons to include Ikoyi Correctional Center, Apapa, Agodi, Enugu, and Suleja, stressing that the relocation of the correctional centers was necessitated by the audits carried out on all of the 256 correctional centers in the country. He faulted the siting of a correctional facility in Ikoyi, Lagos, saying a jail attack on the center would not only damage the reputation of the country, but also worsen insecurity in the state, while the long-term plan is relocation of about 29 of our correctional centers that have been caught up with urbanization. The federal government has spent a total of $15.55 billion on debt servicing between 2009 and 2014, according to the latest data from the Central Bank of Nigeria. In 2019, Nigeria paid $588.33 million in million dollars in debt servicing between January and May, while the payment for 2020 was $5.40 billion. The debt service payments continued to rise in subsequent years with $2.02 billion paid in 2021, 2.34 billion naira in 2022, and 3.43 billion naira in 2023. Between January and May 2024, the country has paid 2.18 billion naira, $1 billion in debt service, according to the CBN's data. This is 270.9% increase compared to the first 5 months of 2019, which was $588.33 million. The $2.18 billion in May 2024 is nearing half of the $4.8 billion projected by Fitch Ratings for the year. This increase is despite the government's assertion that it is shifting its focus towards domestic borrowing. The Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry said it is not particularly happy with the persistent hike in food prices that is currently worsening poverty levels across the country. President of the group, Emeka Ogbegolu, said that the situation is also affecting small-scale business adversely, adding that the basic meals are becoming unaffordable to most citizens nationwide. The Chamber's president said that official records from the National Bureau of Statistics indicate a staggering 35.41% food inflation rate in May 2024, adding that the true food inflation exceeds 50%, while highlighting the severity of the situation and its dire impact on livelihoods. The chamber said that the chief executive officer of Araba Technology, Segun Olugbile, had urged the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry to initiate business actions against the food crisis and hunger in the Federal Capital Territory, stressing that the food crisis is becoming a serious issue due to multifaceted challenges affecting farmers, herders, climate change, and the current high inflation. He also said that the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry stands at a critical juncture as the Federal Capital Territory faces an escalating food crisis and hunger emergency. Due to challenges impacting food production and supply chains. Supply chains with an estimated 24.7 million individuals affected by food and nutrition insecurity across 26 states, including the FCT, adding that the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry could play in collaboration with government and stakeholders to avert a worsening crisis and bolster food security in the region. The federal government have revamped the National Gold Purchase Program in a bid to improve the country's reserves and boost the value of the naira. This policy came to the fore when the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, presented the latest gold bar sourced from artisanal and small gold miners and refiners by an agency of the Ministry of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Abuja. Alake lauded the president for supporting reforms in the solid mineral sector, assuring that the sector will, in no distant time, boost the nation's reserves, adding that the Solid Minerals Development Fund meets the London Bullion Market Association good delivery standard. Alake also said that the refined gold will be sold to the Central Bank of Nigeria to bolster foreign reserves, stressing that it marked the first commercial transaction under the National Gold Purchase Program, the centralized offtake scheme supported by decentralized aggregation and production network. Aggregation and production network of artisanal and small-scale miners and cooperatives. He said the first commercial transaction has delivered $5 million increase in Nigeria's foreign reserves assets, 80+ kilograms of gold refined to the London Bullion Market's gold delivery standard, and successfully aggregation of locally mined gold, thereby injecting about $6 billion into the country's economy. While in her presentation, the Executive Secretary of the Solid Minerals Development Fund, Fatima Shinkafi, said that the London Bullion Market gold delivery standard is the globally recognized, stringent and trusted standard that enables the global trade in gold and silver bars. The federal government has filed a 6-count charge against Well Property Development Company Limited for tax evasion in a bid to strengthen tax compliance. The Federal Inland Revenue Service filed a suit on behalf of the government accusing the company of understating tax returns and false declaration of earnings and failing to deduct and remit taxes. In the suit, the Federal Republic of Nigeria is listed as complainant, while Wells Property Development Company Limited is joined with 9 individuals as defendants. Amongst other things, the company was accused of various offenses, including understanding tax returns, and false declaration of earnings while carrying out taxable services. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project says over $36 billion loan to fund 197 projects in Nigeria have failed to impact citizens as the country's debt profile rose to 121.67 trillion naira. SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, who disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, said that the Debt Management Office said in trillion naira at the end of March 2024 from 97.34 trillion naira at the end of 2023. Reacting to Nigeria's rising debt profile, SERAP alleged that the World Bank loans to the country has not succeeded in taking Nigerians out of the party line, and urged the World Inspection Panel to probe allegations of corruption in the spending of loans. The statement also said that other funding facilities obtained by the federal government and Nigeria's 36 state governors were to review the implementation of all bank-funded projects by successive governments since 1999. Still ahead, international tidbits. 1 person died and dozens were injured during a stampede at the President Paul Kagame's campaign rally, Rwanda's national broadcaster reported ahead of a vote. Widely expected fisted rule, Kagame has been Rwanda's de facto ruler since the end of 1994 genocide, which claimed some 800,000 lives, mostly Tutsis, but also mediocre Hutus. Campaigning kicked off on Sunday with Kagame addressing rallies in Musanze and Rubawa in northern Rwanda on the weekend. ATN reports that Rwandan courts rejected appeals from prominent opposition figures Bernard Ntakanda and Victoire Ingabire to remove previous convictions that effectively barred them from contesting. The Election Commission also banned Kagame's critic Diane Rwigara, saying she had failed to provide a criminal record statement as required and had not met the threshold of acquiring 600 supporting signatures from citizens. Combined operatives of the Nigerian Embassy and a Senegalese-based non-governmental organization have rescued 24 Nigerian girls who were subjected to sexual exploitation in the Tambacounda and Kendogo regions of Senegal. The acting ambassador of the Nigerian Embassy in Dakar, Senegal, Salihu Abubakar, who disclosed this in Dakar on Sunday, said that the gifts, mostly underage, ranging between ages of 11, 13, and 24, are being trafficked to Senegal through Cotonou, Republic of Benin, via the Mali to Senegal border for sexual exploitation in Tambacounda and Kendogo regions. Abubakar said the preliminary investigation revealed that most of the girls who were school dropouts from Edo and Delta states, adding that a few of them were from Imo and Abia, while 2 others were from Plateau, while others were already repatriated weeks ago, as well as 2 other ladies were repatriated to Nigeria on Saturday and had landed in Nigeria safely. Its diplomats could not immediately give the details of the health status of the victims and other information regarding the time they spent while undergoing sexual exploitation in Senegal. Tens of thousands of Israelis have protested in Tel Aviv demanding a Gaza ceasefire deal and the return of hostages held by Hamas. Organizers said that it was the largest anti-government protest since the Gaza war began, whilst scuffles and people were being arrested by police. Some on horseback tried to move protesters off the city's main highway. The rallies have become weekly events, and protesters also want new elections, while hostages' relatives were amongst the protesters. And about 120 hostages are still held in Gaza, and some of them dead. Hamas and its allies seized them when they attacked southern Israel on 7th of October last year, killing about 1,200 people, mostly civilians. While Gaza health authorities say Israel's devastating offensive has killed more than 37,400 people. And on to entertainment news. Media personality Oladotun Ojolape Kayode popularly known as Dotun, has issued a warning to Nigerian artists ahead of their colleague Davido and his fiancée Chioma's wedding. ATN reports that Davido confirmed a few days ago that he and Chioma would have their wedding on June the 25th in Lagos. Ahead of the wedding, which is in less than 24 hours, Dotun has issued a warning to artists to avoid releasing any song till the end of the week. He stated that people would be unavailable to stream it as everyone is attending would be on Davido and Chioma's wedding. Veteran Nollywood actor Kanayo has shared his opinion on monogamy, stressing that he doesn't believe in monogamy because it is alien to African culture. Favoring polygamy, the movie star said monogamy was an imported culture and claimed that he never knew about divorce until he relocated to Lagos from the southeast. According to him, the Igbo man prefers to die in marriage than divorce, and the actor is publicly known to be married to one wife. Nollywood actor Yul Edochie has raised alarm over an alleged plot to harm his children and kill his second wife, Judy Austin. He claimed those behind the plot also created social media groups and pages to bully his fans, friends, and businesses. Business associates and had reported the matter to the police. He also said that the suspects went as far as posting my house address on their platform and threatening to hurt my kids and kill Judy. On to sports. The Nigerian Football Federation Disciplinary Committee has stopped Enyimba's appeal following the forfeited points against Rangers. This is coming after Enyimba failed to continue the match against Rangers after the center referee awarded a penalty to hosts in closing stage of the game. The NFF also upheld the fine of 2 million naira imposed on the People's Elephant by the MPFL, and the decision was contained in a memo sent to the former MPFL champions. Groups for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup 2024 have been unveiled in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. This marks the first time the Dominican Republic will host a FIFA tournament set to take place from October the 16th to November the 3rd. Remarkably, Spain won the tournament in 2022 on their way to the extraordinary achievement of simultaneously holding the Under-17, Under-20 and Senior Women's World Cup titles. The first nation to do so, and 16 teams will compete to lift the trophy and follow in the footsteps of former champions DPR, Korea Republic, France, Japan, and Spain. However, each of the 16 teams now know their group stage opponents and subsequent pathways at the tournament, with the final set to take place on the 3rd of November in the nation's capital, while hosts Dominican Republic have been joined in the Group A alongside Ecuador, New Zealand, and Nigeria, while reigning world champions Spain have